let's talk some Texas A&M recruiting because the Aggies, they won 16-10 in an absolute thriller. And hey, when it comes down to these SEC matchups, you just got to win. After all the carnage that we saw in the top 10, we know winning matters. And Aggies, they are 4-0 for the first time since 2016. See, Mike? We do talk about that. So Auburn comes to College Station. They cannot beat them. We're going to talk about the recruiting impact on some of A&M's top targets. But before we get started, Aggie fans, do me a favor real quick. Hit subscribe. This is the best recruiting channel on all of YouTube, and we want Aggie fans to be a part of it. All right, let's bring in national analyst Sam Spiegelman. Let's talk about a major flip target on campus. Actually, but first, let's talk about a 2027 corner that committed before the game even began. Hakeem Frampton. What are the Aggies getting in this standout 2027 prospect?
Super athletic, long, rangy, speedy, built, all the traits that you want in your cornerback that can play inside. He can play outside. He spent some time at free safety. He's from California, which, Mike Elko and the staff love to recruit the West Coast. He's playing his junior season out there in Arkansas, which, again, has been a recruiting hotbed for these Aggies since Jimbo Fisher was there, again, under Coach Elko. Nice addition to a 2027 class that we expect to compete for the number one class in the country when it's all said and done.
Yeah, pretty interesting. He comes to campus. He must have had that. He must have known he was going to commit, right? You don't just show up and look at the pregame festivities and just figure, hey, I'm going to commit now. We don't see a lot of pregame commitments.
He came ready to drop that bomb. In the past, we've honestly heard a ton of whispers about this from kids that visit A&M all the time from across the Southeast and across Texas. And when they deliver in a big-time spot like that, Hakeem didn't hesitate to drop that commitment. I think he said he's been there 4 to 5 times. When he says when Mike Elko texts you, what else do you have to think about? The GM, Derek Miller, also played a huge role with this one.
That's great. All right, so maybe the headlining story of the weekend out of College Station was that Anthony Tank Jones, 5-star edge, committed to Oregon, was on campus. Maybe still is on campus for all I know. But do you think that Oregon has anything to worry about, or is he just getting around? Because he's been to Miami a couple times now. Now he's back at A&M. What do you think Oregon fans should think about this one?
Yeah, I think that Tank Jones's recruitment still has a couple more chapters ahead of it, and I don't expect Texas A&M to go anywhere. They haven't stopped recruiting him since his commitment to the Ducks, and they were one of the front runners next to Alabama and Auburn, dating back to his junior season. He's continued to come back to College Station. Obviously, high-level blue-chip recruits love Mike Elko, a defensive-minded coach. Not to mention Jay Bateman, their defensive coordinator, Sean Spencer, Tony Gerard-Eddy. They have multiple defensive line coaches over there in Aggie land, and they have attracted the best defensive linemen around the country for the past couple of cycles. That includes Tank Jones. I'm told where there is smoke, there is certainly fire. If I were to guess, I would expect the Aggies to be in this all the way through December. They have not taken their foot off the gas. His visit back to Texas A&M may be an indicator that he's coming back later this season. It's been an easy trip from Mobile, Alabama to College Station, and this staff hasn't taken their foot off the gas. I don't think they're going anywhere in this recruitment.
All right, let's talk about the number one defensive lineman in America in the 27 class, Jalen Brewster. He was on campus. And this is really important because Brewster is set to make his decision in 6 days this coming Saturday. So 6 days from now, Jalen Brewster will be announcing. What does this mean that he showed up in College Station a week prior to his decision?
Yeah, this is pretty significant. Jalen Brewster has called teams like Oregon the front runner in the past. But behind the scenes, programs like Oklahoma and Texas A&M have really been leading the charge for the number one defensive lineman in the country out of Cedar Hill, Texas. Both myself and Steve Wilfong have predictions in for Texas Tech. Another team that has come on very strong in this battle, we know the Cedar Hill High School connection with Joey McGuire, and we know that the Red Raiders are very well equipped to make this worth his while from an NIL standpoint. So does Texas A&M. They have money. They have money to go after the best players in the country. We just talked about how they're still in it for Anthony Tank Jones, one of the top edges in the 2026 class. Texas A&M felt that they were very much in the mix for Jalen Brewster leading into this visit, and there is still some confidence that they can get this done before his October 4th commitment date, which also will coincide with his birthday week. I'm not ready to move off my prediction for Texas Tech. They were on their bye week. They were continuing to recruit Jalen Brewster and his camp, but I'm not ruling out Texas A&M at any point in this race. After he commits, before he commits, this is going to be a battle between the Red Raiders, the Aggies, the Sooners, and a ton of other schools, including Ohio State, until Jalen Brewster signs next December.
Yeah, it's heating up, and Jalen Brewster was not the only number one player at his position. It was a ridiculous collection of talent. Number one interior offensive lineman Albert Simeon was there. Number one linebacker Cooper Witten was there. Number one corner Joshua Dobson was there. Number one offensive tackle Mark Matthews was there. And number one tight end Ahmad Hudson was there. Sam, coming out of this one, who is A&M in a great spot with? Inside Scoop fans, let's talk game time because the NFL season is here and tickets aren't going to be easy to find, but you and your buddies need to find them. And getting deals on last-minute tickets can be frustrating when all you want is to be there for the moment that your team runs out onto the field. Well, thankfully, the Game Time app gives the advantage back to the fans. It's the hack for unlocking amazing ticket experience, and it only takes a few simple clicks. The app's easy to use, and the Game Time guarantee means that you can trust that you'll get 100% authentic tickets on time and at the best price. Plus, fees are always included, so what you see is what you pay. That's why I use the Game Time app. It's super simple and makes the experience of buying great seats a breeze. Also, one of the coolest features I've seen is the Game Time lowest price guarantee. It's where Game Time will credit you 100% of the difference to guarantee you're getting the lowest price if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to download the Game Time app. You're going to create an account and then use promo code Inside Scoop. That's promo code Inside Scoop for $20 off your first purchase. It's INSIDESCOOP for $20 off Game Time. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed.
They're in a great spot with a lot of in-state and regional prospects, Josh. Let's start with the number one tight end in the country, five-star Ahmad Hudson. He camped at A&M over the summer, returned. Of course, the Aggies are battling Nebraska. They're battling LSU for this five-star tight end. I was told that this race got tightened significantly with his trip back, and he's expected back later this season. There's a lot of confidence in and around College Station with Albert Simeon, the number one interior offensive lineman in the country for next year. Of course, he is also from Louisiana. We know how hard the Aggies came for Lamar Brown last year, and they feel equally as confident about their long-term chances of bringing Albert Simeon to the station when it's all said and done. I could say that the Aggies are probably the leader for Caden McCarty, a Rivals 300 edge from Houston, and they took a major step forward in the recruitment of Julian Caldwell, blue chip top 100 wide receiver from Argyle, Texas. Never before have they been mentioned in that lead group with Texas and Oregon and Texas Tech, and now you can say the Aggies are here to stay.
Absolutely. Aggie fans, talk to us. How are you guys feeling about the most recent win over Auburn, and who is your most important target in the 2027 cycle? Let me know. Comment section below.